Welcome back to the Ringdown podcast. This is the first mini episode in the short report series, and we're taking a few minutes to sit down with one of our firefighters and highlight the people who make Roanoke Fire EMS great.
Medic freeze on scene.
Second line, knockdown the exterior fire.
Today we're joined by Firefighter Brendon Majors from Station 1 on C shift. Brendon came to Roanoke Fire EMS from another agency, and since joining, he's built a reputation as a dedicated firefighter with a strong presence in the firehouse and on calls. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Casey. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
What inspired you to become a fireman? How did you get your start?
In high school, one of my teachers was a volunteer fireman at a local department, and he would just talk about all the things that he would do, and it sounded really interesting. So on my 18th birthday, I went down to the local volunteer fire department and signed up, and it's been an enjoyable ride since then.
Are you from this area?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What was it like moving from another agency to this department, and what stood out about Roanoke? What brought you to the city?
The process of moving departments was actually really smooth and really easy. My CPAT was still valid, so I didn't have to go through another physical test. Didn't have to do the written exam or anything. It was pretty much an application, still had to do an interview, but it didn't seem as stressful as the first time I interviewed with the city. And so the process went really, really smooth and was really easy for me. I don't think there's been too many that have lateraled from other departments. So it kind of was working out some kinks, so it took a while to actually get a station assignment and kind of get the ball rolling there. But once I got in the department, it's been smooth sailing.
What made you want to come to the city? What was the draw for you?
The department I worked for before just wasn't as busy and didn't really run as many fires. And that's kind of like where you sign up for the job to go to fires and to help people on EMS calls. And it just wasn't as busy as I wanted to be. I was sleeping all night, a lot of nights, and kind of wanted to be up and out and about. The aggressiveness of the department, the traditions and history that the department has, it's what really drew me in.
What are some of the traditions that come to mind when you say that?
Kind of just the sticking to the aggressiveness of getting in and getting to the seat of the fire and pushing the fire out rather than hitting it from the outside and possibly pushing fire throughout the structure.
I think it's the little things that we do daily, right? Like people still carry hose picks.
Right, yeah.
They're not as relevant. Like we still do the Ringdown.
Right.
Even though that could all be, computer based at this point. Like,
yeah, definitely. And how dispatch still calls and asks for reserves and stuff like that. Yeah, the hose picks are also a real big one. And it's cool to see how when someone retires, that person picks out a firefighter that kind of stuck out to them and then gives them a hose pick. I think that's really neat. Though we still have a lot of snap couplings in the department and in our area, and we have the adapters on the trucks as well. Mm-hmm. It's still really cool that we have those, because we don't use them just for fire hydrants. Like we used one the other night to pry up a window because we didn't have access to the door on an EMS call. So they're a very versatile tool just to carry around in your pocket.
Tell us a little bit about Station 1. So Station 1's one of the busiest stations that we have. There's a lot of people that work out of that station. How has working there kind of shaped your experience so far, working alongside everyone at 1?
Very lucky. I feel very lucky to be at Station 1, first of all. We have a very good crew. We have a good thing going. We're all on the same page. We all have a good love for the job. Like being busy, that's exactly what I wanted. So coming from where I came from to where I'm at now was exactly what I was looking for.
What are some of the things that you guys do at 1 that might not happen at some of the other stations, or is just kind of specific to your crew?
In the mornings and in the evenings, we raise and lower the flag. I think Station 8 also does that, but most of the other stations have the lights out at the flagpoles, so they don't have to bring them down and fold them and put them away. But we do that every morning, every evening. With admin being upstairs, we kind of have to do a couple extra things just for admin and for that reason.
I got extrication on ladder 1. That's unique to just y'all on ladder 5.
Correct.
Small engine, stuff like that. That's all. Oh, there. I remember my short time at one. I was there for about a year and a half. It just seemed there was always something to do. Right.
For sure.
It's not that house that you can just come in and be like, all right, we're going to have an easy day, right? Because even easy days at one are busy in comparison to, some of the outlying stations.
Definitely. And it's not just busy with call volume. It's busy with running here and running errands, or somebody drops off a chainsaw or a case saw or a fan or something. We have to repair that. We also repair all the nozzles on the fire apparatus. So there's always something to be done and something that needs to get done. And even like just the morning chores, it's bang the chores out, and then it's on to run this errand, and then we got this training we got to meet, and we're leading this training, or we got to help and bring supplies for this station to do training. It's always something to be done.
Can you think of, in your time with the city so far, any calls that have kind of defined your career or influenced kind of your career?
Definitely. I can't remember the exact date, but the 5th and Albemarle fire, Firefighter Cash and I were on the ambulance together, and the whole station was gone. It was just us at the firehouse, and they had a long list of apparatus to stand by for a call, and then our MDT started ringing, and we jump in, and we're booking it down the street, and we're getting somewhat of notes that dispatch is getting at the time, and we turn the corner onto Albemarle, and we got a fire showing out of the second floor window. We got people running out of the downstairs door, and as we're getting dressed, Cody and I run in and start making up the stairs, and as we're going up the stairs, dispatch is actually giving us the short report of like the notes, hey, called in by the trash men. It said they heard an explosion, this and that, and it's like, we already know we're in here. And so Cody had the water can, and he's holding the fire back, keeping it contained to the one room that was involved, and I went around and searched the rest of the second floor, and as soon as I completed my search, the engine was stretching a line up the second floor and ended up putting the fire out, and just doing that, and it felt like we were there forever by ourselves, and being able to give a scene size up off the ambulance, and it was just a morning like no other.
I remember that one. I think we took a picture afterwards. Yeah, and you guys had some big smiles on your faces.
Yeah,
that was a lot of
matching blue gloves, long sleeves, turnout pants.
I think a big thing with this city that a lot of people don't realize, like, everyone says EMS, this, that, we have ambulances. Sometimes in the fire service as a whole, having ambulances is looked at as a negative connotation. But I've been first arriving on a medic truck, working at Station 6. You give the size up, you are forcing the door. You're the first one through the door. Like,
certainly.
It allows you to grow as a firefighter because there's no officer on that ambulance. It's you two doing what is right, what is best for the public, and making those decisions, which allows you to grow in your career, right? So when you test for lieutenant and you make it, you have that experience to fall back on where there wasn't someone necessarily there to direct you into making those decisions or guiding you through the house, right? You had the experience to do that. And being busy and going to a lot of fires is the way you get that, right? You can't become good at that without doing it.
Certainly. All the training in the world doesn't prepare you for the real thing.
It's a fact.
The heat, the smoke conditions, the noise, everything is completely different than in a very controlled environment in a big gas grill or training building.
And the adrenaline dump as well.
Certainly.
What keeps you motivated, right? When I think, if somebody tells me or talks about majors, right? Me, I work on a different shift, different side of the city. I'm like, that's a solid guy, right? That's my first opinion. Solid dude, motivated. Every time I see you, whether I'm working overtime or a training center, you are always happy. There's always a smile on your face. You want to be there. You want to help. What keeps you in that state?
I love this job more than I can really explain. Coming back every day and being able to ride on the fire apparatus or even the ambulance, as much as like a lot of people don't like riding the ambulance, to me it's fun because you're gonna be busy. No two call is the same. That's one thing that I love. Like working previous jobs, you show up, you know exactly what you're doing for the day. You do the same thing day in and day out. Here, no two calls the same, no 2 days are the same. Everything is a shock, and I love surprises. So you get to meet some very interesting people as well. There's characters everywhere.
That is sure.
What are some of the lessons that you've learned from the fire service that you carry with you outside of the job?
The fire service has really helped my work ethic. We do a lot of hard work. It's very strenuous. So getting out and doing yard work after a night up on the ambulance it's really not that bad, just because, it could be a lot worse. I don't know. It's just, that's one thing that's really helped. It's really helped me with, honestly, manners. I'm try to show everybody the same amount of respect that I would give to a battalion chief, to the fireman sitting next to me.
I gotta ask this. It's not on our list of questions. Engine work or truck work?
Truck work all day long.
Oh, man.
I already knew the answer to that one from the video before.
Ladder truck work is where it's at.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll forgive you. And what would you tell someone that wanted to get into this? What advice would you give them if they wanted to become a fireman?
Really sit down and think about if this is for you. It's a very taxing job, not just physically, but also mentally. It also taxes your relationships. This job is a great big commitment, and you have to be 100% dedicated day in and day out, day on, day off of work. If you're going to do it, you need to make sure this is what you want to do and take it seriously. This isn't some job that you can just kind of skate by and fly under the radar. You need to, not that you want to be better than anybody else, but that kind of just needs to be your mindset. I'm here to help the guy next to me as well, but I'm also here to stand out, is the way I look at it. And not that I want all the spotlight or anything like that. It's just this job, because other people's lives are on the line as well. Not just the taxpayer and the community, but also your brother and sister sitting next to you. So make sure this is what you want to do, because like I said, this is a big commitment.
For sure. Well, I think that covers all of our general questions. Is there anything that we didn't ask you that you'd like to highlight about yourself or your experience with the city so far?
No, I love working for the city. I've been here it'll be 3 years in March, and bad day, good day, there's never been a single second that I regretted my decision coming to Roanoke City.
That's awesome. We're really lucky to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And thanks for coming on the podcast with us and sharing a little bit about your story.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing your story with us today and giving listeners a glimpse into your journey.
That's it for the short report. We'll continue highlighting the firefighters who make up Roanoke Fire EMS. Be sure to follow the Ringdown podcast on your favorite streaming platform so you never miss an episode. Until next time, stay safe.
Second line, knockdown, auxiliary fire.